Just when you thought this show could not get any more disgraceful. I mean, it's already bad enough that Saturday Night Live, a show that is supposedly dedicated to sketch comedy, already bad enough that there is nothing comedic about it. I don't think I have laughed at a sketch from Saturday Night Live since the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock and launched their plan to take the land from the Guardians. Already bad enough that this show sucks. But now, we have the studio audience in Rockefeller Plaza damn near climaxing the woke boner at the mere mention of some doofus who is looking at life without parole. There was a celebration this weekend in New York City. Well, KC, was it a celebration of rainbows? Were they celebrating the pride? No. It was way too cold for that. Hard to fill out a tuck-friendly bathing suit with the big stiffy when it's 20 degrees outside. This celebration Saturday night, it was a celebration of depravity. The audience in Studio H in Rockefeller Plaza, they were celebrating an alleged criminal. Perhaps it was a nostalgic celebration. Perhaps this alleged criminal reminds them of their childhood playing the Nintendo classic Mario and Luigi. Because Saturday night, the woke SNL audience, they were celebrating Luigi Mangione. This was incredibly confusing for a couple of reasons. Number one, I thought deacons at Woke United Methodist preached peace and tolerance. When I hear the preachers on the street corners preaching the good word and spreading the woke faith, I hear them preaching messages of unity and love. UNITY! Kinda hard to love someone when you are allegedly responsible for taking their life. And number two, I thought this religion was against the Second Amendment. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't this the same group that protests, sometimes peacefully, expressing their supposed outrage against gun violence? Isn't this the same movement that wants to abolish the Second Amendment? Pretty sure the answer to both questions, yes and yes. So I'm incredibly confused as to why we are not seeing these protests with Luigi Mangione. Not only are we not seeing protests, we are seeing celebrations, which is exactly what happened Saturday night during the Weekend Update segment on SNL. Live from New York, we are celebrating the taking of life. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you want to vote for the second annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards, link is in the description below. Gonna leave the voting open for another couple of days. My plan is to have the HEF Awards uploaded on New Year's Eve, so be sure to cast your vote. Let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, my friends at Angelic Imports. Angelic Imports is an importer of high-quality Gouffre chocolate. It's not your average gas station candy. This is top-of-the-line Gouffre that is imported directly from the French, Swiss, and German border areas. You really don't know what you're missing until you actually taste it. Me personally, I keep the 65-piece Gouffre round in my refrigerator at all times. But if you're looking for smaller quantities for a New Year's Eve celebration, you can go with a 35-piece Gouffre present or Gouffre Golden Secrets, which is 20 pieces for less than $20. Angelic Imports is a proud veteran-owned business, also a female-owned business. And if you want your chocolate to arrive by New Year's, gotta place your order now. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BEHINDTHELINE, all one word, behind the line. Save 10% off your first purchase with Angelic Imports. Pretty sure Saturday night was the final episode of SNL for 2024. And even if it wasn't, no one cares because no one is watching this garbage. Last week's episode of SNL, it was beaten by something called Happy's Place. Casey, what the hell is Happy Palace? It sounds like one of the weird dreams from Shannon Sharpe. Hey, it's me, Shay Shay! Where he dreams of a happy place where he is not made fun of for wearing a purse because all men are wearing purses. But as it turns out, Happy's Place is a sitcom starring Reba McEntire. I didn't know Reba was still working. I didn't know Reba was still in the business. Haven't heard about Reba since the last time Fancy let her down, and that was back in the early 90s. But I'm pretty sure Saturday night was the final SNL of 2024. And what better way to bring in the new year than by celebrating an alleged murderer? During the Weekend Update segment, Colin Jost, he was preparing to I was going to say he was preparing to make a joke, but jokes are no longer allowed on Saturday Night Live. Maybe that's why the audience erupted in cheers and laughter when Connor mentioned Luigi's name. I guess that's what they do now on SNL. They cheer every time a name is mentioned. John Biden, woohoo! Cam Harris, yippee! Luigi Mangione, I'm so horny! Uncle KC, that man is a misogynist! During the segment, Connor Jost mentioned the name of Luigi Mangione. As soon as the Luigi escaped his mouth, the audience erupted in celebratory cheers. Now, I would play the clip for you guys, but Lorne Michaels, he acts like an old curmudgeon anytime Uncle KC tries to show his work, which is absurd when you think about it. Looking at the ratings of this turd, you would think that Lorne Michaels would appreciate me showing clips of SNL. At least then, someone would actually see it. But instead, anytime I try to share a clip of SNL, Lorne, he gets all pissed off and hits me with a copyright claim. So, to hell with him. If you want to see the clip, it's all over social media. Won't take too much of your time. This clip, it's kind of like a high school boy on prom night, over in seconds. But as soon as Colin Jost says the name Luigi Mangione, the SNL audience erupts in cheers, and it was mainly the women who were celebrating. No wonder there are so many single women in this country. No wonder marriage rates are the lowest they've ever been. When they're on these dating apps, I guess women are swiping left on 99% of the dudes. They're looking for that special someone. Girl, if he doesn't have charge with first-degree murder in his bio, I'm swiping left. Since when did it become mainstream to celebrate the loss of an innocent life? KC, this man wasn't innocent. He was the CEO of an insurance company. Insurance companies are parasites. Yeah. Remember when they were saying the same thing about millionaires and billionaires? Remember when they were demonizing the wealthy? Now they are celebrating the death of a CEO. And look, I hate insurance just as much as anyone, especially health insurance. I think health insurance is a ripoff. It seems like insurance companies do everything they can not to provide the service that we already paid for. Insurance is the only industry where the customer is always wrong. Only industry where you pay for a product and the provider, they do everything not to provide the service. But that does not mean I'm going to celebrate Luigi Mangione. And in his defense, Colin Jost, he seemed to be uncomfortable when the audience of woke women was celebrating the Super Luigi. He mentioned something about the audience celebrating justice, which, I mean, that's obviously complete bullshit. These single women, they were hoping that SNL was going to show Luigi with his shirt off. Poor Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C! Poor Chris Cuomo, he has been taking shirtless selfies for years now. He can't get a single woman to scream for him. Luigi Mangione takes a shirtless selfie and he's got a line of woke women lining up to marry him. Who knows? Maybe he will find a nice woke woman in prison. Even though SNL wasn't responsible for this, they're still being blamed for it. Now, is that unfair? Probably, but this is what happens when you spend years aligning yourself with Woke United Methodist. This show has become a disgrace. The other day, my sister group texted the family and sent a classic segment from SNL. It was a Christmas segment that featured Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, David Spade, Rob Schneider. You know, actual performers, actual comedians. This was back when performers used Saturday Night Live to jumpstart their career. Today, the cast is treating SNL like an actual career. Kenan Thompson, he has been on this show longer than the people left watching it have been alive. But when my sister sent this clip, it reminded me of how great SNL used to be. Was every segment a home run? Obviously not, but even the bad segments were so bad they were entertaining. Adam Sandler singing a song about a lunch lady while Chris Farley prances around in a tutu. That segment on paper is complete shit, but they made it work. They had the ability to take the turd and turn it into something that we remember over 30 years later. When was the last time SNL produced a classic segment? When was the last time SNL produced a comedic segment? 3 or 4 times a year, I will attempt to watch Saturday Night Live, hoping that maybe things have changed. Most of the time, I don't even make it to the opening monologue. Show is absolutely terrible. And the reason it's terrible is because they are forcing themselves to abide by the woke commandments. Same reason that late night television is struggling. But anyway, give me your thoughts on this. The SNL audience celebrates Luigi Mangione. More specifically, the women in the audience celebrate him. Why? Also, does anyone watch SNL anymore? Am I the only one that thinks the show sucks? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys later.